Hi, I'm Vanessa Uybarreta from vanessauybarreta.com, and I'm going to talk about perfectionism and how it connects to your intuition. We all deal with perfectionism, right? Perfectionism is the voice inside of you that's telling you you should be doing something a certain way. And sometimes our perfectionism is so fixed in how we function that it becomes like a blueprint for how we think we should be living our life. And that's really the key. It's how we think we should be living. It's not actually how we feel or how we actually take the moment-to-moment responses. So perfectionism is really, is really someone else's ideas of how your life should be. And it's formed an opinion in your mind. We didn't get it from our inner guidance. We got it from other people in our lives over the years. And everybody has these little versions. So every time you catch yourself saying, I should be doing it this way. I should do this. I should do that. Should has no basis in how things actually are. Should is not how things actually are. Should is judgment. Perfectionism is judgment. Perfectionism is an ideal that is very, very rarely lived up to. And the reason why I'm saying how it's connecting to your intuition is because perfectionism is kind of like a rule book, and our intuition is present moment flow. So perfectionism is going to hinder your ability to tune into your intuition if you're really fixated on the perfectionism. And these things, as we know, life is always fluid, so we vacillate between maybe being very perfectionistic in one area of our life, and then we kind of soften that and we allow our intuition to come through a little more. So basically, it's really all about thinking less and feeling more. So our perfectionism really can get in our way. It can get in our way. It can cause us a lot of pain because we rarely live up to the perfectionism. This comes out in all areas of our life. I should be a better worker. I should be a better parent. I should be a better friend. I should be a better child, daughter, son, friend. I should clean my house more often. I should, take care of this a little bit better. I wish I could be a little bit more like this, blah, 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 all that stuff. Meanwhile, when we breathe into the present moment and we sit into our bodies and we sit into our knowing, we have the answers we need for that moment. Something that applies now in this moment right now is not going to apply necessarily tomorrow. And what I mean is that your choices are unique individual choices. Today you might be really into having a sandwich for lunch, and tomorrow you might really resonate with a bowl of soup. And that's the way flow is. And our intuition is always in the flow. And our intuition, yes, we have visions of like things in the future, maybe like a complete project. We have these dreams that we link with our intuition. We say, I want to grow this business, so I want to have children in the next 10 years or whatever it is. But then our intuition only gives us the next step. It doesn't give us, here's your next 10 steps. It says, this is your next step. I'm guiding you right now in the present moment to do this next thing, to make this choice for your highest good. So, but when we start to question that logically and say, I should be doing this instead, see, it interferes with that. And that's where we can learn to notice the two things. Notice the difference between our intuitive voice and the perfectionism. I call it the little mind, the part of us that wants to keep us small, worrying all the time. Perfectionism has that involved with it because it's very, very hard to stay in that perfect space all the time for what we think is perfect, and everyone's perfection is different. It's very, very upstream. It's very much of a struggle. It's very hard and full of effort to keep that going. So, and if you do, there's might be some point where you just break down from the whole thing. Like it's a hard thing to maintain. It freaking sucks. So if we can, when we notice the voice of that perfectionism, if we can take a moment, okay, breathing is so powerful. We breathe all the time, obviously, when we consciously take a deep breath and breathe into the moment and ask ourselves, what do I need right now? And allow ourselves to listen, we can get an answer. And if we do that more often, we get used to taking that step back into ourselves as opposed to being 10 steps ahead energetically and mentally, constantly thinking, well, I have to do this, blah, 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 blah. This is not about not planning. I'm not saying that planning is bad, not at all. In fact, planning is beautiful. But that space inside, we know what our next step needs to be. Our plans can always be adjusted. Ooh, can you see the birds? Our plans can always be adjusted to what the present moment is sharing with us. So I hope that was helpful. I give you lots of love. We all suffer from perfectionism. We all can learn to let it go more and more. And I just want to say I'm Vanessa Uybarreta from vanessauybarreta.com. I am so passionate about helping you really get in touch with your intuitive wisdom so that you can live your life from a place of freedom and knowing. Bye.